I am finally going to do a DVD collection. Hello everyone, this is Draven Edwards Productions, and today I'm going to be showing you my Thomas and Friends DVD collection. So, as you may notice, I have 18 DVDs, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So, if I get lots and lots of more, I would be having a biggest collection ever. So yeah, but right now I had 18 DVDs for the Thomas and Friends collection of the DVDs. So this is the video of the Thomas and Friends DVD collection, so please enjoy. So the first DVD I had is the first ever Thomas and Friends movie ever made, Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I think I got this almost like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I got this for my birthday. Yeah, I do remember. So this is the Magic Railroad Company, and this Thomas and the Magic Railroad has been made back in 2000. So you already know the 20th anniversary of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. It was just been 20 years since the movie came out, don't you think? So I am planning to. I'm not sure about planning to get the Thomas and the Magic Railroad Blu-ray when it releases in the summer, but I I think I don't even know, but I think you could decide. Shall I get the Blu-ray or not? I might never know. Yeah. And now let's look at these two DVDs here. So these DVDs are Thomas and Friends: The Greatest Stories. So one of them is disc 1 and one of them is disc 2. And they were been scratched. Yeah, they've been scratched, been playing them forwards, backwards, just playing with them. But I might have to use some DVD equipment to clean them off. And that way they'll play like new. Yeah. So the narrators of these, they're played by Ringo Starr, George Carlin, and even Michael Brandon. Yeah, so let's look at disc 1. So we had Thomas, James, Gordon, and Diesel 10. And I think this DVD, I think both of these DVDs just I think they're just been made in 2010, don't you think? Yeah. And then disc 2, we had Thomas, Percy, Toby, and Emily. Yeah, it's very good. And I really like the classic songs of these two. Yeah, that was the Thomas and Friends greatest stories. Yeah. At least they're very good. And and also one more thing before we get on to another one, I forgot to mention I had to show you Thomas and Lady. Yeah, that's it. And I'm not sure this was just from that whatever that is. So yeah. And now let's move on to this DVD, and it's the Thomas and Friends Calling All Engines full length special. So yeah. So this is a 2005 version. Like if you have seen my review, if you have seen my review of Calling All Engines, you should check it out because you know I don't even know how to put a link in the description. Yeah. And over here it says the 60 years and the 60th anniversary of Thomas and Friends that you remember back in the day. I think this Calling All Engines just been released in 17 years ago or something. Yeah. So there's Thomas, Diesel 10, James, Gordon, Emily, Toby, and then Percy. Yeah, that's the front. And then the side looks pretty good. You could see that Thomas right there. I know it's just completely unfocused. It's completely unfocused. There we go. You could see Thomas right there. And then the back itself. And you could see the names of the engines. Yeah, I already read you that in the previous video. And then you could see some songs and some story stops, and then funny games. And I like the Thomas and Friends partnership. I really like about the commercials of the Thomas and Friends partners, like Thomas and Friends Lego Duplo, Amtrak, the Leapfrog Leapster Learning app, and Thomas and Friends software of Thomas and Friends Calling the Legends of Leapfrog Leapster app. Yeah, and even the Wooden Railway and Tomy, which you remember these back in the day. Yeah, it's been made back in 2010. Yeah. And here's the disc itself, and this is exactly how I like it. That is. It's way better than the 2009 reprint and the 2014 reprint. So I prefer this 2005 version better. And now let's move on to the next DVD, which is the Thomas and Friends Thomas Snowy Surprise and Other Adventures. So this DVD is a 2014 Universal reprint. So yeah, because all the cuts and stuff, yeah. So there's Thomas and Percy's just being Jack Frost, and then Thomas with a snowplow. Yeah, the front, side, and the back looks pretty good. Storytellers like Alan Baldwin and George Carlin, which you already know that these two back in the day, and you already know that George Carlin had died like almost about years ago, because he died in 2008. I'm talking about George Carlin. Yeah, bonus features, and then stories stops here. Yeah, I knew this was been made in 2003, but it's a 2014 Universal reprint. Just to let you know. And I know I found this at my local Houston Walmart. And it should look something like this. And I know you could see me and my camera, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, the words are just purple. Yeah. That was Thomas Noe's Surprise. And now let's move on to the next DVD, which is both in one. This one is the Thomas and the Toy Workshop and Thomas and the Really Brave Engine. So if you can't tell where is the Really Brave Engines and Thomas and the Toy Workshop, the Thomas and the Toy Workshop is on the front, and Thomas and the Really Brave Engines is on the back. Yeah. And I know some of the parts are just scratching, but maybe I might fix that. I might have to just order some DVD equipment so you could see some words. I think Thomas and the Toy Workshop was just been made in 2009, as well as the Really Brave Engines. Yeah. So yeah, that both DVD for you. And now let's move on to this. And it's Frosty Friends. So I probably you're wondering, wait, what the heck is this? Is it just from the hit entertainment characters? Well, yes, it is. So yeah, so this DVD is this is the hit entertainments or whatever that is. The hit entertainment's Frosty Friends. So yeah, I think it's been released in 2010. Something. Yeah, I think so. Or wait, did I just say 2010? Okay, so I don't even really know when this Frosty's Friends DVD came out. So I do remember almost like a long time ago at my local Walmart that I found. So you could see the characters of Barney, Scoop, and Bob from Bob the Builder. And then, of course, Thomas, the tank engine. Yeah. And also, I like the episode where Thomas and Friends was in this DVD of Percy's new whistle. Yeah. And then let's move on to Blue Mountain Mystery. So, it is a very good movie of Blue Mountain Mystery. I do remember why I watched this when I was just almost like a little kid or something. And this DVD was very good. I like the commercials, like the Corey climb, which I'm not going to be getting it because I use the Superstation Owen right now. I use the Superstation Owen. Yeah. And I really like the Trackmaster set of the Risky Rails Bridge Drop, which I have, and it's just still in my layout. So yeah. So anyway, so you could see Thomas and Luke, the new characters. Yeah. And I know it has a few scratches, but probably I could fix that so that I won't have to get a second one. And never mind. This was made in 2012. Yeah, that was Blue Mountain Mystery. And now let's move on to Splish, Splash, Splosh. Okay, so I just really said it at the start. I meant to say Thomas and Friends, Splish, Splash, Splosh. So I do remember this DVD that I got almost like a while ago, back in 2016. I do remember about getting this DVD for Christmas. So yeah. In full Steam CGI animation. And then it says Meet Charlie. Well, we already met Charlie before back in the day. Like, he appeared in Playtime, which is the episode that is. Probably in season 13. So you can see Thomas, Rosie, and then I already showed you Charlie. And then the front, side, the back looks very good, and you could see Thomas and Sir Topham Hatt. And then bonus features like lift and load crane game, and then count with Thomas. Yeah. This was just been made in 2010. And here is the disc itself. And this is exactly how it really looks like. It really has a few scratches too. But no matter for it. And what do I think about Splish Splash Splosh and even the Snow Tracks episode? It looks pretty good. And I know the voice actors are different between Michael Brandon and Mark Morgan. Yeah. And then a Christmas special, which is Thomas and Friends, A Very Thomas Christmas. So I do remember this that I got it at my local Walmart. So yeah, it was just very good. You could see Thomas with the presents, and then you could see a snowman. Yeah. Oh, this was just absolutely made from 2012. Yeah. So yeah, that's all that I got to show you. And now let's move on to here. And this is the DVD. And this is the Thomas and Friends Santa's Little Engine. I do remember back in 2019, which is last year, and I found the Santa's Little Engine at my local Family Dollar, and I was very happy to see this DVD. So you could see Thomas, and then Sir Topham Hatt dressed as Santa Claus and Santa's sleigh, the Christmas trees, and then you could see Olstead Castle. Yeah. And then Thomas is being Santa's little engine. Yeah. So that's the front, side, the back. And you could see Thomas and Gordon just clearing the tracks with snow. Yeah. And also right there of the bonus features, Sir Topham Hatt's Frosty Friend and Guess Who puzzle game. This DVD was made in 2013. Yeah. And also, the Snow Tracks episode was previously on Splish Splash Splosh like this. But the same voice actors. But the different voice actors, almost like between Michael Brandon and Mark Morgan. So these were the difference. Yeah. And here's the DVD itself. And here is a booklet, which looks something like this, of the wooden railway range. Like Snowy Mountain Figure 8 set, the diesel fueling station, Santa's Little Engine, the snow tunnel, and then you had to follow Thomas, and then some app store, the Thomas and Friends that you do remember back in the day with your iPads, and then some golden books, and even some others. Yeah. And even visit Thomas at the Little Big Club. And then the Mike the Knight. I was supposed to be taking it out, but I can't even really show it to you right now. Because we're at the long end of the video. Yeah. So that was Santa's Little Engine. And now let's move on to this DVD, which is the 70th anniversary that you do remember in 2015. This is the Thomas and Friends, The Adventure Begins. This was been made in 2015. That you do remember back when Thomas first arrived on Sodor. You could see Sir Topham Hatt. He was just on the book. And then you could see a windmill nearby. And then you could see Thomas, James, Henry, and Gordon. Which is very good. It looks pretty good. I think I do remember this when I bought it back. Probably 2016 or 2015. I can't remember. So yeah. It has a few scratches as well, but yeah, I could fix that somehow. And then let's take a look at this DVD. So this is the Thomas and Friends Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure, the movie. So I knew that Thomas gets into trouble and then just push the coaches off the rails, and then he has to go to the construction yard. Yeah, to just teach Thomas a lesson for some reasons. And then he meets some new characters like Mike, Rex, and Bert. Yeah. So you could see Thomas and then Sailor John, or simply known as John. You could call him Sailor John or John if you want to call him. John, Sailor John. And then Skiff, which you do remember this character. Because he could travel on rails and water. And you already know at the ending, he got his new livery. This was made in 2015 as well. Yeah. You can see a pirate ship, then Universal. Yeah, that's Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. It has a few scratches too. Yeah, that's Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. And I really like the character named Ryan. Yeah. And then let's move on to the next DVD, which is Thomas and Friends, The Great Race, the movie. This was made back in 2016. I do remember that I got this back in 2016, which is pretty good, which is pretty cool. I do remember I saw that at my local Walmart almost back in 2010 to 2016. Yeah. Anyway, so you could see Thomas, and there's Ashima, and then you could see the whole people of the Great Railway Show, and then you could see a castle there. And then you could see Gordon, or Shooting Star Gordon, or Shooting Star, and then Flying Scotsman, Gordon's brother. Yeah, I think you do know that. Yeah, that's fun. the side, the other side, and the back. Looks pretty good. And you could see some of the Thomas characters. Just let me zoom out. There we go. So, the characters that you could see are Thomas, Gordon in a shooting star shape or shooting star, then Flying Scotsman, Ashima, Raoul, Ivan, Vinny, and then Philip. Oh my gosh, he is so scared of that bully. And then Etienne, Yongbao, Rajiv, Carlos, Frida, Gina, Shane, Axel, Emily, and then James just right at the back. Oh, don't want to forget Frida. Well, I think I do remember that. Wait, did I really call? Whatever. And then meet 13 new friends, including Ashima, that's what it says. And then in digital on TV, computer, tablet, or smartphone. And then you can see some bonus features. Yeah. That is just the amazing DVDs of all time. When Etienne when Etienne won in the competition of the Great Railway Show. Yeah. That was almost hard to open. So here's the disc. You could see Thomas and Ashima. And then you could see the flags. They look pretty good, some other countries. Yeah, they're just very good. Yeah, that was The Great Race. And now let's move on to the 2017 movie, Journey Beyond Sodor. Hottest place in town. I know I really have to do that, so yeah. Anyway, I do remember that I got this back in 2017 for Christmas. So, yeah. Just almost like back in the days. Yeah. And it says all new movie, but my brother just ripped it. Yeah. And then Journey Beyond Soda, the movie, and then the whole Steelworks, and then there's Thomas, James, and then Frankie. And that is an old promo of James, so I don't even know why. And also for the bouncing, this is where the Thomas and Friends characters get the bouncing for the first time. I like the bouncing of Thomas and Friends, so that way I knew they don't bounce all the time, so I like how the bouncing really is. So yeah. Looks very good. So that's the front, then the side, and then another side, and then the back. So true friendship saves the day, so we already know. So the characters you could see are Lexi, Merlin, and Theo. And then James with some sheep, and then Beresford picking up Thomas. I never heard of Thomas either way, so bonus features, and then top 5 funniest moments, and then landmarks of Sodor. I have watched them before. Yeah. And then it was made in 2017. Yeah. So yeah, that is the same exact thing. Oh, and there's the booklet. And then there's the Journey Beyond Sodor DVD. And it's colored in blue, which I think blue is just my favorite color. Looks pretty good. And the booklet is just very good. Like, it shows you something. It shows you something like this. So, I still have the Superstation, and I still have the Trekmaster engines, like the Scrapyard Escape set, and then Steelworks Thomas, Merlin, and Hurricane. I already had these three almost back in the day. Yeah. And I knew the animators are pretty silly to not give Merlin a side rod and then have Hurricane's buffer being detailed in red. I mean, they're just freaking lazy. Yeah. And then, based on the movies of the books, and then A Day Out with Thomas, and then the Big Club, we had to follow Thomas, and then the Thomas and Friends Minis app, and then the Steelworks Stunt Set, Megabox, Railway Pals, which I'm not even getting these because these are just for little kids, and then join other Thomas and Friends Adventures of DVDs. I know I don't even have Start Your Engines, but maybe I'll sometime get them. Maybe I'll sometime get it. And then some other fun, and even some other things you can do, like a streamer of Speedy, and then an up and down coaster, and then ride, and then a bicycle. Yeah, these were just for kids. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, that was Journey Beyond Sodor.